All right, good evening, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart. Today is Wednesday, March 19th, 2014, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. All right, today we'll touch on the Dow today. We always talk about the market and what happened today, and a little bit of volatility this afternoon. And then we're going to talk about, we'll briefly touch on the BRIC countries again: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And then we'll look at 5 Chinese stocks that are trading in the United States. So, all right, let's get started here. If we look at the Dow here today, it was down 114 points. At one point, it was a little over 200 points down, and that was selling off during Janet Yellen's first press conference this afternoon. Apparently, the word I'm hearing is that the market didn't like some words that she said, that type of thing. I mean, who knows? I mean, people just use it as an excuse to sell. I know interest rates were blipping up on some of the short-term rates, not the long-term rates. So we'll just have to see. The big thing from a technical perspective is this little move in here looks like the ones I've got circled over here, okay? Little snapback rallies, a couple of day rally like here in early January. Then we went sideways for a couple of days. Now it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. The fact that we closed below the low, closed below the 10, did not break the high here earlier today. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Taking this point out here, this could be nothing more than just a couple of legs. I mean, you get this leg and this leg, okay? You get this leg, and then this leg was a little longer leg. And so, we've had this one. Are we going to get an equal one down or greater? That's what, we've got to be looking at. And if we take out this point in here, the real challenge is going to be, I'm going to be estimating the move based on this height here, this head in this head and shoulders type formation. That'll pull it down, right down into here and maybe approaching this 233-day moving average. And the question is, do we take out this low? That's going to be the real test, because that's going to tell us, again, kind of like the test here. We got the test here and we got the test here. Whichever one we take out is going to tell us the direction that we're moving in and confirming the direction that we're moving in terms of, into the year, I think. Okay, let's move on quickly. We've got, let's take a look at Brazil. Brazil, here's a week ago. Okay, so we had a little bit of a dip, bounce back, and it's actually higher than it was 5 days ago. So maybe a little bit of Brazil trying to claw its way back up. We look at Russia. I think we might have looked at this a little. Here it is, the MI6 indice. Remember, we had a tremendous amount of divergence that looked like it was coming in. And sure enough, we got this rally Monday, Tuesday, and then today, a little bit of reversal back. We get a close below this, we might be selling back off again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens for their Thursday, which is starting this evening. And India is continuing, I think, to push higher, although it really actually has gone sideways over the last week. I mean, here's a week ago. It's slightly higher, if not almost the same. So dipped down, but it's in a nice uptrend again after breaking out of these highs. So India is looking the most solid of all of these. And then Shanghai, there it is, China. Okay, so China has pulled back also to this trend line, okay, or fan line, whichever you want to call it. And so I'm not ready to say, oh wow, it's getting ready to push higher, because again, it's not even closing above the 10-day exponential, and the moving averages are trending down. We're still getting new lows, and it's, in my mind, looks like it's just pulled back to this trend line here. So we'll have to see how it acts over the next week to see where China may be heading. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the first one to take a look at is CTRP. I thought CTRP might be getting ready to go here and started to break to the upside, but then it sold off today and closed back down below the 10. We've got this trend line in here. We could get a 50% pullback of this move. And here's what I'm measuring. I'm looking at this move here. 50% would be right into here. What is that? About 46.5. Okay, so 50%, 61.8 would be down to 44. So I'm still wondering whether or not we might get a little bit more of a pullback on it, but it's worth watching because I do think the next move may be higher here, especially after breaking this big downtrend line in here. So C-Trip is getting interesting. MPEL, Melco Crown Entertainment. This is starting to trend down, just like I've seen in MGM. I don't really have a play. The play would have been back in here as it broke the trend line, but I thought the MGM was a little more attractive in terms of a sell trade idea. But MGM is sure taking its time in terms of getting where I thought it was going to go. But right now, this looks like it's trying to trend down and roll over. And I've counted 5 waves up, so I'm kind of expecting this to pull down a little bit more. That's my thoughts on that one. SINA. SINA has been a little wild and crazy here. Quite a bit of volatility back and forth. I'm not quite sure what it's doing, but it is trending down. I mean, you're getting lower, lower lows, lower highs in here. It broke out, took out this low. And I'm not really sure. We've got this trend line in here, but for right now, I mean, you got to say it looks like it's wanting to trend lower, but I don't see any specific setup per se on SINA, other than the fact that it's just been pretty wildly volatile. What's the average true range on it? 3.63. So $3.63 is the average true range each day. So if you were to make a play in here and have a stop at 2 ATR, you're talking about giving it $7.25 before you're wrong. So starting to get up there. Not as high as a bunch of these other ones though. YOKU to do. This is one where I'm still expecting this. It broke this trend line here. I'm still expecting this to pull down a little bit further because I'm looking for B to C to be equal to A. Okay, so I'm looking for C to be equal to A because of this flat type of formation here. What we call flat correction versus a zigzag down. Okay, so I'm still looking for it to pull back down here, maybe even as low as down to the 233-day moving average. So that's what I'm looking for on YOKU. And the last one I want to take a look at is this education stock, which is kind of interesting in terms of New Oriental Education Group. This is one that I think is getting ready to move to the upside also. It had a pretty big move in here, so I'm not totally comfortable with jumping in right here. And again, maybe we get the 10 above this gray line, get the which is the 21-day, and get it rolling over, rounding up is what I should say. I'd feel a lot better about it. But I think this may be have made, like, here's 1, 2, a big 3, which is typically your strongest move, and then a 4, a zigzag 4. And so we could be into a fifth wave pushing higher here. And so that's what I'm kind of looking at. So that's kind of interesting. And the volume on this is 1.6 million 50-day average. So that's getting a nice volume into the stock. So anyway, that's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow evening with a stock market update. And have a great Thursday. Share the video, tweet it, like it, share it with your friends. And remember, the truth is in the charts, but trading is more than the bars on a chart. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Thanks for stopping by.